Live. It's the Bison Football Show. Valley News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Kleiman.
Well, the bracket is out, and in a shocker, the Bison are seeded 3-1 behind Illinois State. So the Bison did not get rewarded with home field throughout the playoffs. These 8 teams have a bye on Thanksgiving weekend. South Dakota State did fall to Thanksgiving weekend. And we welcome to the set head coach Chris Kleiman. And, Coach, I'm stunned that we got the 3. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I thought we would land on the 2 or 3, and Illinois State's a really good football team as well. And when you don't play each other, and that's part of the unbalanced schedule in the Missouri Valley, then it just comes down to subjective, and they had them ahead of us.
And you look at the top 8 there, Portland State had the 2 FBS wins, Charleston Southern, what a great year, but Jacksonville State is the one, and they're really good on defense, aren't they?
Oh, they're an exceptional team. We saw them last year quite a bit when we were prepping for Sam Houston State, and they definitely deserve the 1 seed.
Well, let's take a look at the overall bracket that North Dakota State is put into, and boy, it is a tough road. There's no question about it. The Bison lost out in Missoula to start the year. They potentially could be matched up against the Grizz or South Dakota State, 2 teams that you've already played. So they did that to us again as well, where you might have to face a team that you've already played.
Yeah, and I think that's just the norm now. I think we all know that. If South Dakota State had won yesterday, I think we would have avoided that game, and they would have put us in different areas because they probably would have been a seeded team. But when they lost and fell to the Thanksgiving weekend, like you said, I knew it was going to be South Dakota State and either Montana or South Dakota State and North Dakota coming to Fargo Dome.
And we take a look at the Valley teams that are in, and I think we don't see it there on the bracket, but all the Valley teams, there's 5 teams in, and they're all on the same side of the bracket. Another shocker.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
It really is, the fact that we won't be able to have the potential for an all-Valley final, and maybe the game wasn't entertaining enough last year, but all of us are going to have to go through each other to get to Frisco, and so we know how tough of a road that is, and now you throw 5 great teams in one side, and boy, it's going to be a tough grind.
I'll tell you what, though, hats off to Western Illinois. I mean, 6-5, but I thought they had a very compelling case. They had the toughest strength of schedule in the nation. They played at Coastal Carolina, and obviously they beat UNI and South Dakota State, and they had a great case, and they put them in, so hats off to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Beat South Dakota State, beat Northern Iowa, beat Eastern Illinois, another playoff team.
Yeah.
So, and I think their win yesterday was really impressive to the committee, and yeah, I'm happy for Coach Nielsen. Great man, and they get a chance to probably play the Redbirds.
Yeah, how about just Montana and South Dakota State? Montana was a tremendous team, healthy. They weren't healthy all year. That's part of the reason they were 7-4, but now they're healthy again, aren't they?
Yeah, they have the quarterback back, and he missed a number of games in the middle of the season when they had a little bit of a slide. Now he's back. I know they're healthy at wide receiver and defensively, so that'll be a great matchup out in Missoula with the Jackson and the Grizz.
In old South Dakota State, they had a terrible travel situation to Macomb with snow, and they didn't get there until just hours before the game, and they end up losing that game, and they really got punished for that, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did, and that the weather you can't control, and that's an unfortunate situation how all that went down, but yeah, they did. They cost them an awful lot, obviously, the loss, because I really believe they were a seeded team, and then the Valley would have gotten the 3 seeds.
Yeah.
And that's something that we as coaches were hoping is we would get 3 seeded teams, and unfortunately it didn't happen, but we do have 5 in, and that's something from a Valley perspective that we're always shooting for, to get as many as we can in. Last year we were able to get 5, and lo and behold, this year we get the 5 because of our strength of our conference.
And they put us all on the same side. Boy, some real head scratchers in that bracket, there's no doubt. Well, there was a game played this weekend against Missouri State, and Coach, it was senior day, and we roll the highlights. This is an emotional day, isn't it?
Boy, it sure is. 14 guys coming out of that tunnel for the last time in a regular season game.
Well, here we start out. The defense was just flying around.
Of exceptional speed on defense all day long. They played extremely fast. We created a number of turnovers. Really happy for those guys.
So 7-0 after Caleb Butler falls on that one. Their running back, nice player, but they just couldn't get anything going. This is a positive play here.
Yeah, they do a nice job blocking the perimeter, and he gets a pretty good run. It probably was about their longest play of the day. Yeah, they're struggling a little bit.
You know, on the defensive end side, boy, Menard was flying around, but Ambrosius, these guys looked healthy in this game.
Yeah, we were really good at the defensive line in general. Great catch by Brad Ambrosius there, and we had good pressure all day.
Now, the running game was churning out yards. Obviously, Chase Morlock here with a 13-yard run.
Yeah, great job by the Rams all year long of pushing the pile, and Chase gets a big run there.
R.J. Urzendowski just runs great routes, finds way to make people miss.
He does, and this was a critical play. It was, I think, second and extra long, and he gets us back to a 3rd and 1.
You finish this drive here with a touchdown. Early 14-0 lead, and the tone has been set.
Yeah, we've told our guys we needed to have a great sense of urgency early in the game and not let them have a chance to feel that they were in the game.
You know, I know you work on this, but the guys did a great job of stripping the ball out. This is MJ Stump.
This is textbook. This is something Coach Entz will take to a clinic because that is phenomenal by MJ. And then I think Menard ends up getting the recovery. And you can see everybody so excited about getting the big turnover there.
Hey, Connor Wentz, this shows the depth at tight end. I mean, you really have a deep position there, and he makes a nice catch here.
Really does. Great play-action fake. Good job by Connor selling the run first and coming out into the flat for a touchdown.
The only thing there is the missed extra point, so it's 20-0. Greg Menard, man, it was just impressive in the first half.
They couldn't block Greg. Greg's playing at a really high level, and we need him to be heading into the playoffs.
Well, Easton on the move again here. What a great throw this is to Connor Wentz.
Excellent throw. Somebody in his face. Great job by Connor hanging on to it.
It's really good to see Dimitri Williams healthy. He's a freshman, has great ability, nice speed as well.
He has tremendous speed, and he's finally healthy. He had a high ankle sprain for quite a while, and he's healthy, and he'll give us a really good threat in the playoffs.
So they have faked some punts throughout the course of the year. I'm sure you expected this. They're going to try one here, and it obviously does not work out very well. Pierre G. Tucker was right on it.
Yeah, we talked about it all week, and they'd faked 3 or 4 this year, and we knew they were going to try to do it, and Pierre makes a great play. It's like a turnover, really.
Yeah, it really is. Their punter looked awful tentative on that run there as well. Well, another catch for Connor Wentz. He had a really good first half.
Yeah, he really did. Great protection here for Easton with the offensive line, and good catch by Connor.
All right, Zach Vraw. This breaks the record for the all-time touchdown mark receiving-wise with 27, and what a catch this is again by Zach.
Yeah, great catch. Originally ruled out, and then they reviewed it, and really happy for Zach. I think he holds all the records down, and he deserved that.
Yeah, he was emotional this week as well. He's been here 6 years now. Good for him. And Bruce Anderson, man, really got a burst.
Yeah, great speed on the edge, and we were able to do a good job blocking on the perimeter. I think Moody did a good block there.
Now we give this one away here. There's a fumble here, but, you know, Chase has had a tough year with injuries. You know, he'll rebound from this, and certainly a tough spot there. They just put a hat on the ball.
Yeah, we just got to keep giving him some carries. He hasn't been able to carry the ball very much this year because of his injuries.
A 2-minute drill. This is a great chance to really simulate that for what potentially could be some tight games in the playoffs. This is a nice drive.
Yeah, really was important for Easton to be able to manage the clock and be able to complete some balls, scramble around a little bit. It was something that he really needed.
You know, Bruce Anderson, you know, he covers kicks, he returns kicks, he's got great running ability, he has some good hands as he shows here.
This is a great throw and catch. Excellent throw by Easton and a really good hand catch by Bruce.
Well, on our Nodak Mutual Insurance halftime scoreboard, 41-0 at half, and you see the lopsided numbers right there, an impressive half by the Bison. And before we get to the second half and wrap up the show here today, we are going to talk with Brad Ambrosius on the Gate City Bank Hot Seat. As a child, who was your favorite superhero?
The Hulk.
Oh, that's a good one. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
How about your favorite pro team?
The Packers.
Yeah, I figured. In traffic, are you a patient driver or do you get frustrated a little bit?
Frustrated. I hate traffic.
What is the worst household chore?
Doing the dishes.
Yeah, I think so too. Biggest fear?
Waking up in a tow of snakes. I hate snakes.
Yeah. What do you like most about Fargo and North Dakota in general?
Probably just the people, how nice they are and generous.
What impresses you most about the Bison coaching staff as a whole?
How caring they are about the team and about players in general.
What's the one thing people don't know about you?
That I'm not a big hunter or fisherman. Being from Wisconsin, I'm sure people think that, but I really don't like it.
That's a good one. Thanks, Brad. Well, Coach, at halftime, how did you figure you were going to manage the second half? You're up 41-0. I'm sure substituting and keeping everyone healthy is big.
Yeah, we were going to play one series with the starters and then get some of the younger guys in. And we wanted to get everybody in the game that had a chance, that wasn't redshirted. And we were able to do that. And we wanted to continue for 30 minutes to keep great focus and play hard.
Well, let's roll the tape and look at some of these backups that got in the game and just see some of the performances that are out there and look at the future a little bit. And, boy, I think the special teams, again, Bruce, we talked about it last week, but he just provides an element back there.
Absolutely. And for us moving forward in the playoffs, we have to win the special teams battle every week.
King Frazier, a real physical run. He hurt his thumb early in the game, but he came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, this is a great run. Using a stiff arm, staying in bounds, and really violent guy that does a great job with the stiff arm and gains an extra 20 yards.
Yeah, exactly. That was an impressive run by King right there. Jeff Ilias, another one of these tight ends. Again, the depth at the position is impressive.
And another young guy. And so we're excited about Jeff. Jeff's gaining more confidence as the season's going on.
48-0 the score at this point, and the running back rotation continues to develop as well. And Lance Dunn, is really good to see him get loose on a few runs.
Yeah, and we've seen this out of Lance. He has an extra gear, and he's a real powerful runner.
Not only physical between the tackles, but he shows, much like Bruce has, that burst off the corner.
Yeah, the neat thing about that, Bruce Anderson made a great block to spring him, and then he got to the corner, and Lance took him to the house.
Bruce likes to hit people. He can make some tackles on special teams, too, so you're right. That was a good block right there. And Missouri State, what a tough year they have had. I feel bad for them, really.
Yeah, they've had a tough year. They'll get it turned around. Steck's a really good coach, and they'll get some recruits in there, and they'll be heard from in the future.
Much like the first half, you just have to be thrilled about the number of takeaways.
Yep, you bet. We're flying to the football, a lot of backups in there. Good job here stripping it out, and Jalen Allison getting a good return off the fumble.
Hey, these backups that get in, they're excited to play, aren't they, to get some reps?
Well, it's hard to practice for 12 straight weeks and not get a lot of opportunities, so I was really excited for those guys to get in the game.
And with that said, they're going to be rusty at times, too.
Yeah, you bet. I thought their young man made a great strip on Cole there and did a good job.
Into the fourth quarter now, and Stanley Jones, he's a product out of Bismarck, and I thought he made a couple of nice plays.
Yeah, really excited. You know, Stanley missed last week with a knee injury, and to be able to get him back will give us a great depth in the playoffs.
Again, Bruce Anderson shows you what he can do. It just has the full package right between the tackles.
Yeah, great burst there.
And this is an interesting moment in the game here, Coach. I'm sure you talked about it throughout the course of the week. How are you going to get Carson in the game? There he is at running back. You wanted to give him his senior moment, didn't you?
Absolutely, and great job by Coach Palasek and the offensive staff. I asked them if they could do it, and they found a way where he wasn't going to get hit or anything. And just to be able to honor Carson, you know, he won't probably play another game in the Fargo Dome, and I thought he needed to be honored. What a great career he's had here.
Yeah, and what a special kid he is. We're going to root for him in the future as he goes into the professional ranks. And Darius Anderson here, another quick back.
Yeah, great speed, great quickness, and it's really neat when you've got 5 running backs that can do different things.
Boy, Darius hit that bench hard over there. I think he was all right after that, though. Again, Lance Dunn here.
Yep, good blocking up front. A lot of young offensive linemen, and they're doing a great job, and Lance gets a big game.
Hey, one guy that doesn't get a ton of credit for playing well, but Jedre Sear, a senior, a local kid, he's been a good member of the program.
He's been great, and he got a couple carries here and broke a bunch of tackles, ran exceptionally hard. He's been a great player for us for 5 years.
And he had his senior moment, got a nice standing ovation. The crowd loves Jedre Sear from Dilworth, Glendon, Felton. On the Nodak Mutual Insurance final score page, you see what an impressive win by NDSU, 55-0, 412 rushing yards, 601 total yards of offense. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
That was just kind of the way to complete the whole thing. For me, it was an emotional time, as everyone probably saw on the field. A couple of tears came rolling down, but just knowing, like I was saying, from early on, from where I started.
It's really surreal, especially as a senior, and it's your senior game and everything, and really is amazing that seeing these young guys develop.
Sending these seniors out, you know, I speak for all the underclassmen when we say we're so thankful for everything that they've given to this program and are going to continue to give to it, the way they've represented it. You know, what they've taught us, showed us about Bison Pride, it's a really special group.
Missouri Valley is a heck of a conference. Ton of talented teams, talented athletic guys, and knowing that we play each other every single year, teams know each other's schemes. We know what teams are going to do on defense.
It's nice having that bye, for sure. we hope we get it, and we're gonna definitely grind during the bye week. That's no doubt.
Great comments by the players. This week's Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game is defensive end Greg Menard. The Bison pitched a shutout, and Menard absolutely filled the stat sheet really in only 2 quarters of play. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, forced fumble, fumble recovery, 2 quarterback hurries. That is a great day on the field.
Beginning of the season, I was struggling a little bit, and Coach Kane talked to me about Kyle's not there on the other side to flush him over to me, and I need to just go out there and make plays and just play the game fast and not overthink things. I think that was the biggest thing for me. All week in practice, we talked about just using the crowd noise to our advantage and just jumping the snap count in the first one. That's what I did, and just unblocked.
Boy, when healthy, Greg Menard is a terrific edge rusher, isn't he?
Boy, he sure is, and he's right. Using a crowd noise. The crowd was dynamite yesterday, and that first sack, it was all the crowd noise. He got off on the ball before the offensive tackle did, and we get a strip sack and a touchdown. So Bison Nation was a big factor in that one for him.
Yeah, nice job, Greg. Well, still to come, we're going to sit down with offensive coordinator Tim Polasek and talk to him about how the offense has evolved with Easton Stick under the helm. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. The NDSU coaches have done a great job in the face of adversity this year. An opening loss followed by the loss of Carson Wentz. Well, in this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story, Beth Houle sits down with offensive coordinator Tim Polasek to see how the offense has evolved with everything that has been thrown at them.
Well, there's just a comfort level that you develop over the course of a spring, a fall, a spring, and another fall camp that you had with Carson. And seeing him throw so many balls complete, whether it's to the field or in the seams, and those are the things that are just going to take Easton time to get the opportunity to do it so that we're able to call those things on first down or second down, more and more as we go. And that's probably the element that we've lost, just the willingness to, call a 1st and 10 pass knowing that Carson was going to make a pretty good decision or move the ball with his feet, and so now what we've done is we probably amped up every call on that board saying, okay, does Easton understand this situation and that situation? And obviously Randy does a great job with that on a day-to-day basis.
But did you reevaluate a lot of these plays when you had to look at them with a redshirt freshman at the helm?
I think we have a pretty good idea, of our system and our plays and what's there and what certain guys can and can't do. It's no different than potentially trying to move receivers into certain spots or asking running backs. So much of what we do is personnel based. When we try to keep pressure, it's like a Chinese fire drill. We've got guys running on and off the field all the time. For us, it's more about how do we put the kids in the best situation possible to be successful.
You're a young offensive coordinator. You are certainly dealing with adversity here early on. Do you think an experience like this has changed a little bit of how you approach it?
Oh, no, not necessarily, Beth. Not that it's not a good question or well thought out question. I'm not going to change for anybody. We go out there 100 miles per hour, and if they're in green and yellow, we coach them all the same. And I think that some of this adversity and this season has been, and we got a ball game to win. But this season's been slowly but surely pretty rewarding, okay, and we're not done. At the same time, to change your style or to change this or change that, that's just not us. As a coach, you're constantly, questioning yourself, reevaluating, and then I've always circled back, quite frankly, we're doing it the right way. I believe in what we're doing. Let's keep pushing. That's how you get young guys ready to go.
Coach, talk about the offensive staff, what they've had to deal with in the middle of the season, having to change quarterbacks because of injury.
Yeah, they've done a phenomenal job of creating game plans that we knew could be effective. And we asked everybody, offensively and defensively, when we lost Carson, everybody needed to raise their level of play. And we've all done that. All the coaches have, all the players have. When you lose a player of Carson's caliber, and it's been really rewarding watching our football team grow over the last 5 weeks.
And I thought that was an interesting comment by Tim there, that this season, gradually has become rewarding, and you feel that too, don't you?
Oh, our number one goal is to win the Missouri Valley Conference, and we talk about it in the spring, we talk about it in the summer, we talk about it in the fall, and you can check that one off yesterday. And that is a really tough goal, tough to do, and credit our 14 seniors and the great leaders we have on our football team to keep us grounded and to keep the focus we've had for the last several weeks to get this thing done.
No doubt. Great job by everybody. Well, in this week's Peterson Farm Seed Future Crop of Bison, defensive end Cole Karch. Karch is redshirting, but is doing a nice job on scout team. Karch is a great athlete out of Germantown, Wisconsin, a school known for basketball. They had a 69-game winning streak in hoops. Karch was good at basketball, a star in football and track, and he loves being a Bison.
It's great because it's everything I expected and more, you know, because in the locker room, everybody is like a family, because everyone always told me, like, from high school, like the guys that are playing in college, they always told me that, oh, college, like football isn't the same, like you're not a family, all that stuff. When I came here, it's no different. It's even more of a family than we were in high school, and it's great.
You know, when I was watching fall camp this year, some of the scrimmages, he kind of stood out to me as a nice, young, talented player. Do you see that as well?
Exceptional player. And when Coach Kramer did all his testing this week, he kind of blew it off the charts as far as vertical and 40 time and short shuttle. He'll be an impact player for us. Really excited about Cole.
No doubt. That's a good position to have some depth at as well, defensive end. Well, still to come, we're going to continue to talk about the bracket a little bit, kind of wrap the show up, have our Verizon look ahead, and we'll see you after the break. Well, Coach, the field is set as we take a look at our Verizon look ahead. Verizon has been serving North Dakota for over 15 years. And again, I'm still stunned at several things here. The fact that NDSU as a 3 does not get home field throughout the playoffs, that's a real head scratcher with 8 top 50 wins. James Madison lost to Richmond. Richmond won the AQ, and Richmond's nowhere to be seen until the 7th. They're seated below James Madison. I mean, I don't get a lot of that, but what are your thoughts on the top 8?
Well, 8 really good teams that, you know, played well enough to gain that bye. And I think that's what's so critical is you have that week off to be able to get some guys rested up, be able to do a little bit more of your self-scout, see what teams are looking at, what you've done, and then start next weekend for us. We'll prepare for South Dakota State and Montana. Probably a little bit of an advantage because we've played them both, but 2 really good teams.
Hey, great season, Coach, and thanks for your time here today. We'll look forward to the playoffs. And we'll see you at Gate City Bank Field at the Fargo Dome during this December run. Have a great week.